Hello and welcome to the Pro Detailer Magazine podcast. Today we are in Germany. In fact, we're in Frankfurt, and you're not going to believe this until you see the photos, but we're in a really big hall at Automechanika that's completely empty.
We did ask for a quiet room to do it, and we just didn't specify the size.
So we've got a bit of funny feedback because the show is happening next door, so apologies for that. But basically, the hall we're in is bigger than the Waxstock hall, and it's just us, apart from some service staff who randomly cross over and think, what the hell we're doing. But better news than that, we are joined by someone I've been wanting to have on this podcast for years, but with the COVIDs and stuff, he went entirely underground, and now he's back alive.
Not literally.
Not literally, no.
You have to be very careful about going underground when you're talking about COVID.
That's very true. That's very true. Yeah, no, he survived. Well, it's Reggie. It's Automechanika Reggy Cox.
Hi, guys.
And I've been calling you Reggie Yates for ages by mistake because I get confused with Radio 1 DJs because you're both very cool.
Well, thanks so much.
Now, we have, I've done a couple of interviews with you on the telebox, and they were fun. We were talking about the Automechanika coatings range, I think.
We did.
So we first met, God, it sounds like a love story, this, and we first met over in Milan at the HQ, I think. Or did we meet before that?
We met at the Amsterdam Car Wash show.
Oh, yeah.
That's where we got the physical introduction.
Yeah, physical introduction.
Yes,
yeah,
like
that was
the handshake.
Yeah. Anyway, Reggie, tell us who you are, where you're from, and what you do.
There we go. So my name's Reggy Cox from the Netherlands, 40 years old. Detailer.
So we're supposed to go, no, not 40 years. No.
No,
I couldn't read the prompt card.
You know, the face will show that I'm 40 years old. It's a life that I have lived. You have to look like this.
Are you coming to terms with it? Because you have lived a very wild life, haven't you?
I have.
You've lived probably 5 lives in 40 years.
I have.
So tell us, just give an example of how damn crazy you can be.
I think the most simple one is to say that I'm now 40 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I have achieved everything I've ever wanted in my life.
Wow.
I have achieved all my dreams. I've did everything I wanted to do except go to Japan. For the rest, I created, together with the mother of my son, the most beautiful boy in the world.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a very proud father. If he's listening to this, Lev, I love you very much.
Oh, we've never had that on our podcast before.
Even I don't do that.
No, well, yeah, but yeah.
Yeah.
No, and,
awkward.
So I'm pretty much done with my life as in ambition and goals I wanted to achieve because I already did everything. And
well, how many Subarus do you have?
I had
exactly
one.
the right number.
Subaru.
Yes.
You had a Subaru.
It's like that. It's not the real Subaru. It's the really small one.
Oh, the Justy.
That's what's the one. Yeah.
Oh, it still can be quite cool if it was a Mark 1 or 2. But anyway, we'll move on from that. And so you want to go to Japan, but apart from that, it's basically job done. You can pass on without regret.
Exactly.
But the fact is that you're young and healthy and bouncy and very energetic, so you've probably got at least a decade in you.
So I hope so.
And so your role, what's your role within Automechanika?
Well, my role is basically we can say I'm a very good detailer, or we can say that I'm a very specialized person or a professional or anything. But I think mainly the reason I'm working for Automechanika is the English. And, you guys, you've heard the Italians speak English. Internationally seen, that kind of a dialect is impossible to understand.
I have to admit that when the Italians speak, even Marco, the main man who we did a podcast with actually in the last season, starts speaking Italian, speaking English, I don't hear the words. I just get lost in the romance of it. Whereas with the Dutch, it's easy because part of me is always thinking Gold member from Austin Powers, and that just keeps me entertained enough to keep the arousal level down. So you do quite a lot of testing and training for Labo. It's not just the PR side, is it?
No, it's mainly the training. Mainly, of course, the training, going abroad, telling about the products. I wouldn't say I'm anti-marketing. We need marketing, but I don't like the marketing to make something look better than it actually is. Mm-hmm. So that's why one of the reasons I wanted to work with Automechanika is basically they really invent a good product that doesn't need marketing because the product does it.
Yeah, you don't need to BS because it does that. And also they actually invent things. Strange enough, our presentation on stage in about 2 hours or 3 hours, we ought to check that, is about what makes a good product. And we talk an awful lot about Automechanika because a really important element of it is innovation. And we were talking about all the different products, all the manufacturers rather, who have a champion product. And we got to Labo because we literally had a list and we worked through them. You know, it's things like Autoglim Super Resin Polish and Geon Can Coat and CarPro Iron-X. They're the kind of things that they really pushed forward with. And we sat down and we thought, well, there's Kronos, there's Purifica, there's Energo, there's Veritas. Actually, Labo's just constantly pumping out these winners. And so, I can see what you mean by not having to BS your way through things. So that's cool.
And I like to keep it real. So I don't want to make superlatives about how epic, awesome, legendary everything is, because it's still a hard job. Mm-hmm. And I'm more focused on creating better detailers, regardless if they're going to buy the products. It's not my goal there to say, okay, guys, I'm going to teach you something, give you a little bit of information about how it works, and this is the only way to do it. No, the information will provide you with a certain base knowledge that makes you more specified in selecting the products for the job. Because I love Labo, the tattoo proves it.
Yeah,
there is no discussion about it.
Actually, no, there's a podcast or something about it. Where is your tattoo for Labo?
It's here on the left arm.
Oh my God, I can see it. I'm just verifying it now, and it's not a sleeve. It's genuine.
Yeah, it's a real one.
That's key.
And for this reason alone, I already thought that.
Well, they can't sack you now.
No. Marco always makes the jokes, and he says he either has to sign the contract or to take the tattoo, and he chose the tattoo. So for me, easy job,
It's now he's going to change the logo, though.
Yeah, no, exactly. If he changes the logo, I'm fucked. It's going to be vintage something, or a very bad cover up of something.
I was about to say, you can make it look like a kind of a royal, thing with swirly bits.
Yeah,
Exactly. That's my crest.
But still, I'm a detailer like every other detailer, and I have like 20 different brands in my closet, in my cabinet. There's not only Labo, because it's not a saturating brand that gives you everything for every single job.
You keep bottles of product in your closet.
Oh, you do. If you know, I'm not like John from Clean and Shiny that has the wax stock collection.
Yeah,
it's like retarded, autistic, OCD kind of the collection. But I have very many products. Very, from chemical guys, CarPro.
You're a hoarder.
Yeah. Because I want to know. It's sometimes of course you got a budget, you wanted to use the best of the best with the most, of course I would love to foam a car every single time, but sometimes, you have to keep inside of the budget of what the customer wants. And, prior to polishing, there is not so much need for safety. I mean, if you take a very strong degreaser that leaves a little bit of these alkaline streak marks, it's not a big issue, because you still have to go to polish the car and they will be removed either way. Yeah. So this balance, and then of course the genetic disadvantage of me being a Dutch guy, hating to spend money.
I can't think of any genetic weakness to the Dutch. They're an appropriate height.
This is the one.
They can be funny sometimes.
Yeah, well, some of them.
Yeah, I mean, not all of them. Don't worry.
Some of them are a little bit stuck up,
I thought you make footwear out of trees.
I thought they were from Belgium.
True. The backup Dutch.
I love how, to keep it quiet, you move close to the microphone so it's even clearer.
Yeah, nobody knows what I'm saying.
This is just a conversation between us two. You don't have to worry about that.
Nobody else is listening. I'm aware we've set up these microphones in completely wrong direction, which is why they're going in and out like that. I've seen all the pictures of the trendy people doing podcasting with them coming from the sky.
Yeah, they do. Yeah,
that's right, because we're not trendy.
This old school.
I was trendy.
When?
1992, summer of.
Oh dear, what happened? Don't tell me. Okay. When did you start detailing?
The official job was 1998. I finished school, was in between jobs. I was doing an electrical technical school, but I came from a theoretical school where math and stuff like that.
I thought you were going to say theatre school.
No, I can do theatre school.
I know. I've seen the police reports.
Oh my God. So I quickly dropped out because it was not my thing. So I got in contact with a guy who needed a guy to wash the cars. I got in there and I said, listen, I need a job. You're never going to find a guy that loves more cars than I do. So just
you are a car guy, isn't it? You've got proper. We'll get onto this, but you've got proper cars.
Oh yeah. And
apart from just the Subaru,
of course, the Subaru, of course. And this way, I funneled my way inside and started doing it. I mean, we were talking about 1998, so we have talking about compounds with chalk in it. We were talking about burning clear coats. We're talking about 12-inch wool pads. Yeah, I mean the old school, Yeah, and,
before DAs, it was just
really
rotary.
Yeah, and it was just
literally attaching a pad to an angle grinder.
Yeah, really. And I mean, there was no such thing as washing your pads. I mean, you just try to clap out the fucking de-dust them, and then try to get a good job again. And then there's compound on the roof, there's compound on the floor, there's compound on your shirt.
Back up to 6,000 RPM and carry on.
Exactly. Yeah. And there's a little bit on the car, you know. This is how it started, and did it for a couple of years. After that, I joined the military, Dutch Air Force. The Dutch Air Force, I get to do detailing as well. Did a lot of fighter pilot the cars, our own cars. We had a huge car park, you know, buses, trucks, and everything. Yeah. And we had a car wash, like a.
For the motor pool, yeah.
Roll over. So I said at one point, man, these rollovers are destroying the cars.
I can see you polishing all of these vehicles, military vehicles, which were all matte green, and saying, "Look, I got the gloss back."
Well, yeah, because I was in the Air Force, the cars were blue.
Ah, yeah.
So a little bit dark blue and everything, and we had the old Berghoff bus, 40 person bus, and it was matte.
Yeah.
So, but we didn't have any polisher on hand. So I just bought a bottle of turtle wax and about 12 these dishwashing towels because there was no such thing as microfiber. And till this day, sometimes I meet colleagues from that era that still remember. You remember that you did that bus by hand. I remember you sitting there all week and you going like this and you polished by hand a 40-person bus.
Sounds like the sort of thing you get as punishment detail.
Normally, yes.
Yeah.
But once you have to do it with a toothbrush instead.
You know what the problem was? The steel parts, you know, they did one part and it started to gloss.
And then by the time you get around to it again, it's gone matte already because it's single-stage paint.
Exactly. So it was, you know, mopping the floor with the faucet open. There was no beginning and no end.
I'm pretty sure I saw that in Deer Hunter. I think he was between the Russian roulette and the being caught in a little bamboo cage. I'm sure they were polishing their big buses.
It was a freaking nightmare. But they still remember. He said, "Oh my God, I still remember you doing that." And basically, the whole military career was a little bit of the off jobs. 2012, I made a decision to leave. I had a very nice career inside. Was already going up Sergeant 1, Sergeant First Class, and the next step was Sergeant Major. So. My career was going on, but I made the decision. I was a lot away from home. I had a girlfriend then, a successful relationship that was based on my military career because
you had the uniform.
Yeah, no, because I was not home every week. I was only home in the weekend. So when I quit the military, she and me.
She actually got to know you and thought, "Bucker."
3 months, 3 months full time Reggie. She was gone. You know, tail between the legs, one direction. Never saw her.
She was Can you just go somewhere for 6 months or something? Just
get a mistress, obligated sabbatical. You know? But after that, I got in contact with the guys from Chemical Guys EU. Yeah. Through my e-commerce guy. It's Chris from Detail Schuur. I'm sorry for the Dutch, but it's the Schuur. It's called the barn.
Yeah, don't say that too often.
I'm sorry, because it's not a fault in the microphone. It's the G from the Netherlands.
We'll clean the microphone off afterwards.
Thanks so much.
Sounds amazing.
I'm covering the microphone with DNA if I should speak Dutch. So this guy introduced me to the guys from the Chemical Guys, and they started to say, "Well, listen." First, they hired me to do the show where everybody comes, like what we do. You know, all the traders could come, like a showcase
at the shop. Yes.
Yeah, and I was like the show guy.
You were MC?
Yeah, something like
MC
this.
Hammer. But
like something like this.
Looser trousers.
We're going to do the polishing tech contest. We're going to do the pad throw contest. You know, it was like a fun day. And this resulted in them hiring me.
That's how detailers have a fun day. Let's have a pad throw.
Yeah, there's a small bucket, and then you have a bucket like 5 meters away.
Everybody else is going paintballing.
And you get to throw, and the one that throws in the most pads into the bucket gets a prize. We had a polishing contest where you can do 2 minutes at your best. You know, and everybody's doing the old DAP 900 with the stainless steel ring. You know, it's also a weapon if you want. It's a polisher and a weapon, you know. So everybody gets 2 minutes, and there was one guy judging. It was back then maybe the number one from the Netherlands, Bart Philippens, I think. And I won that match, and everybody's, who the fuck is that guy? I've never seen him. Who is he?
He's really good at throwing pads.
He's with that guy, and he asked me, "Are you a professional detailer?" I said, "No, I'm just a enthusiast," you know. Yeah. And after that, we had the dinner, and everybody was asking me, "Okay, and how do you do this? And how do you do this?" And I was like, "Why are they asking these questions? They are the fucking freaking professionals." And I am the enthusiast, you know, only with the OCD, the autism, and everything together. Yeah, but some of these things you need to be a good detailer because you have to go beyond what everybody else sees.
You have to go real deep.
Yeah, real deep. And this resulted in Marco finding me online through those videos. And when I got to visit Marco one day, I was two with other guys from the Netherlands to try to start a private label. He said, "Can you come to Milan? We have to see some products. But please, do not be enthusiastic too much because we're going to talk about price after." Yeah. So I get to Milan.
What sort of year is this?
This is 2018.
Okay.
So I go to Milan. I see this guy, this huge Italian guy, very big guy, little bit of fun face, Marco Mattioli.
Yeah.
So he introduces himself. He looks, he has the shirt on, everything's tucked in, hair's nice, everything's okay.
But of course, he's Italian. All Italians are beautiful.
So he says, do you want to see the products? And I'm saying, well, sure, why not? A little bit.
I mean, that's where you came from.
I've come all this way. You might as well.
A little bit of a nonchalant, a little bit.
A bit of a head twitch.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we go outside, and still, Marco did not introduce who he was. Just the person I am, Marco Mattioli.
Yeah.
Not his function, his title, and anything.
Was he being humble, or was he expecting you to know that already?
Very humble, but very passionate.
Yes.
I'm passionate about detailing. Marco is next level.
Yeah.
It's next level. There's pride. There's everything is in there.
It's in his DNA.
Yes.
I mean, hell, his parents started the company, so
it is.
As soon as
It truly
bathtub.
is.
yeah. Yeah, he was literally bathed in the precursor to Enego.
I think this is the first child that got a pre-wash when he was a baby, before the actual shower.
And he's been clean ever
I
since.
think he's been dipped in and get into the shower.
They cut the umbilical cord. Anybody go, I've got something, it's okay. You was playing with this, it'll be fine. It'll get a little loud off, it'll be good.
Yeah.
That was an Italian accent, by the way.
So we go outside, and Marco starts doing the demos, and I saw some of these products, and I'm like, holy, I've never, this is cool. This is interesting.
And was this Labo Cosmetica or was this Mafra?
This was Labo Cosmetica.
Gotcha.
So we were doing what we now know as the 3pH wash, and he was explaining me about Purifica and the acids and everything. And still back then, acids were always corrosive in my head, and alkalines were always caustic. Little did I know. So we're doing these demos, and I'm seeing these things, and I'm like, this is amazing. This is amazing. How did you do it? Don't know the 1965, didn't know the experience, didn't know the lab, didn't know anything. After that, after the demo, Marco was wet all over, hair is everywhere, shirts out of the box.
Did he flop his hair
he goes like this, the tissue, dab. We go inside in the factory again, the office.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting down in the office with the other Dutch guys. I'm looking around. I said, my God, this is a pretty big office for a chemist. He said, I'm the chemist, I'm the CEO. Sorry, what? The CEO just did the demos of his products. So I need to know more. What's going on here? Now, back then, he wanted to scout me, but those guys, I was with those guys, not as an official member, but as a consultant. So he could not take me away from them back then.
Oh, you'd be surprised. You can do stuff in Milan that would boggle the mind.
Professional courtesy. You don't steal a player when he's still under contract, so to speak.
Yeah.
So took a couple of months. Remco, the Dutch importer, contacted me. He said, Marco wants to see you. He's coming to the Netherlands. He wants to see you. Okay. So we go to Remco. This was September, maybe 2018, out of my head. And then he invited me during that meeting to come to Milan. And he said, I want you to shoot some videos and then to see what happens. So I went for a whole week, spent at the Domina Hotel, the nice hotel, all the nice dinners.
They've got really nice scotch, but it's very expensive.
Yes, very expensive. That's one of the reasons I don't drink anymore. The Dutch guy and the money spending, and the expensive booze. The week was amazing. I get to work with the whole team. Fridays we sit down. We didn't discuss anything about money because it was not about money. I didn't need a fee. The whole experience was already payment enough.
You were kind of building bonds, weren't you? It was making sure you were compatible.
Network. So he says this week was not alone for you to see how I can see how you work, but it was very important to see how you can work with my team.
Yeah.
And I wanted to make you a job offer. I want you to be the spokesperson, be the brand ambassador, be the guy, the go-to guy for Labo Cosmetica. But you have to sign for 2 years because 1 year is too short. We can't do everything in 1 year, and you need to build up relations. So I said, okay, let's do it. So it took 3 months. And then in January 2019, we kicked off with the first tour, going to Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Qatar, 3 weeks on the way.
Wow.
Cold, naked, no experience, nothing. Just one guy from Mafra with me.
You did naked in Qatar. You probably get in trouble for that.
No, I mean naked in inexperience.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, that makes more sense.
Because I wouldn't be here if I was naked in Qatar.
No, that's true.
Do you know that you go to the prison for a month if you drive a red light?
Well,
they make you build a football stadium.
I mean, seriously, if you drive a red light in Qatar, there are 19 cameras per red light. and they find you. You go to prison for a month.
To be fair, I despise people who run red lights because it kills people. So yeah, damn right.
That's what they say.
Damn
They
right.
say
It's
because you're
basically
potentially putting a life on the line, driving through a red light, you get the punishment for almost killing somebody that may not be there, but you take the risk.
And to be fair, on the flip side, if you do kill somebody, it's still only 1 month. So it's a pretty good, you know, it's all right.
No, it's a pretty good deal.
Until the rest of you gets cut up.
Yeah.
But no, that's grand. Well, I mean, that's a hell of an experience. And I'm trying to think, when did we come over and invade for 3 or 4 days?
That was November 2019. Was it?
Well,
I think it's late 19.
Yeah,
Late.
so it's the same year.
No, it was January because that's where we were, and then we got locked down. We came when we
January
came back from Milan. There was people just wearing the masks. So January,
was
February
it, yeah.
20.
20
Yeah.
actually. You see?
It was like, God, everyone's got masks on. What are they going to do?
Yeah, what a huffle about nothing.
But you've been some other. You've been to India.
I've been to India.
Was it an Automechanika in India, or was it
yes,
just?
I was a different fair.
Yeah.
Different fair, but it's
Okay.
similar like fair.
But that looked massive when I saw that on social media.
Yeah, but I think everything in India looks massive because there are a lot of Indian people.
Mm-hmm.
A lot.
Yes.
I mean, a lot.
Have you met them all?
No, I've met some,
Okay.
but not all.
It's like
I love
4
the food.
billion, isn't it?
It's, I don't
crazy
know. I
number.
think when we end this conversation, there are already 1 million Indians added to the beginning of the conversation. I think.
Blimey, I wonder if they will listen.
Not very clean air, but very nice food, very nice people, and very good for my cultural experience. Because when
Yeah.
you talk to an Indian guy and he's listening very concentrated,
Intently, yeah.
he makes like he shakes his head. So the first time thinking, oh, this is not going very well, this conversation. But he was actually listening.
He was concentrating.
It's like the shimmying with the head. Very strange, very new for me.
What's
Well,
the
it's great to see all the different cultures.
what's the detailing scene like out there?
Oh, if you think you know what lime scaling is, I can tell you, you have no idea.
Is this is well, you say that, but we have some of the hardest water in Northern Europe.
I'm talking about millimeters of lime scale buildup in the color of rust.
Christ.
I mean, around the edges of the window trims, around the edges of the taillights, there's a buildup. And I'm talking about 3 or 4 millimeters thick layer of smog, lime scale. And this is it's almost chiselable.
So you're just basically painting Energo on absolutely everything.
There are gallons of that stuff moving to India because this is the only non-mechanical way that you can remove this limestone. And I saw it for the first time and I said, this car's rusting. No, sir, this is our limestone. Okay, now we know this. Okay, so well, this is your limestone. Okay, interesting. How do you remove it? You use a dilution. No, we use pure. So probably 250 ml of a bottle of Energo per car. Very good for business, but for them as well. Because they spend less time getting these crevices and angles and
hammer
everything.
and chisel everything out their cars. Yeah.
It's
Have to repaint it every
It's
time.
amazing.
And I suppose the level of car ownership out there is going to be less than per head. It's lower, but there's still a sort of a lot of cars out there.
There's an extreme amount of cars.
And they're Hindustans. So Hindustan is based on an old English 1950s Morris Oxford or something like that.
Something like this. Yeah.
And it's 2 tons worth of sort of pig iron that rides about 1.5 feet off the ground.
Yeah.
And you see them everywhere. And is it black and yellow? Or there's a colour scheme that they all out the taxis and stuff.
I know the guys always say to me, we buy a car and it's going to last for tops 3 years.
Yeah, because the roads.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So there is absolutely no vintage car driving around there except on the good roads. And I've been to the nice areas and I've seen the amount and it's ridiculous. 3 years.
They're bloody dangerous as well. The death rate per mile travelled is, I don't want to get my stats wrong, but it's a lot.
There is no such thing as organized traffic. Everybody's just doing and it's working. Because if I go there, I'm going to die in the first day.
Yeah,
it's never going to happen, or I'm never going to cross the road because I will never get in between. But they just communicate through horns. I think it's a short horn, Morse code. The deet 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 means get the freak out of the way. The deet 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 means thanks for letting me pass. And deet deet deet, here I'm coming.
Yeah.
There's a million.
No, you just asked somebody out on a date. You just asked Ian out on a date with that.
Yeah, exactly.
With your horn.
Yeah. So it is. I got a cow next to you at the traffic light. A guy on a bike. Then there's a guy in the middle of the street sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
Next to him is the bus. Then you have the putt car. You know, the small two-stroke
rickshaw.
Yeah. And so there's 2 lanes, and there are 15 traffic users next to each other waiting for the green light,
including a sleeping man. Are you sure it was a sleeping man?
I know. I think.
Did you check a pulse? I mean, normally if a man's laying down in a busy round of traffic, it's not sleeping.
I judged it by his posture. So it was the arm under his head, and he looked like a little fetal position that he was sleeping in. But he was in the middle of the road. It was very normal. Nobody cared. Everybody was just going down his way.
I want to know how the cow beeped a horn. So they've got hooves, and that's difficult.
Yeah.
Cows also. Yeah, you know about the sacredness of the cows.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can't get steaks out there.
No. But I managed.
You managed to get a steak out in India?
No, I managed to survive without a steak in India for that period of time.
No, so that's cool. And so we're just sort of looking into your sort of detailing crystal ball. Where have you got? Obviously, you're in Germany.
Yep.
Which is wild, but ish. Where is your next adventure going to be? Do you think?
My next adventure, I already know, is going to be South Korea.
Oh, really cool. 15
October till 22. I went the last time December 2019, right after the Automechanika of Shanghai.
Mm-hmm.
The Korean market is also, I can tell you about it for days, but you have to see it. You have to see the culture, what they do. And we're not talking about pretty much detailing, we're basically talking about just cleaning cars. But they have these ventures, like you have 25 bays, completely secluded next to each other. Everything is in there. Washing machine, sink, high pressure washer, full program, thinkable chemicals of any brand you can think of. You go online, you book a spot, you drive to the location, the camera sees it's your car, opens up your bay, you drive inside, you start your detailing. In the middle of your detailing, your kids get aggravated because not knowing anything. So they go upstairs, there's a playroom, just like in the IKEA, the small concentration camp for kids, which you leave them at the entrance. There's disco music, there's a restaurant.
Do you have to take the kids back from play area, or can you just leave them there for a week or two?
You just leave them there.
Awesome.
And you book an extra space for the kids. And
give them a wash.
And everybody knows about beads. In South Korea, every single car owner knows about beads. It needs to be they all have microfiber towels, something that's still like 70-30 in the Netherlands. Some of them are using the old leather, cow leather.
Chamois leathers.
The chamois leather. And the other guy's using the tissue. And then you have the other guy using the microfiber. But in Korea, everybody's using microfiber.
Well, of course, I mean, so many coatings that are on our market are made in Korea anyway. So it's no surprise that they're ahead of the game in terms of
It's a little bit annoying. It's a little bit annoying because they have the selection of raw materials that's impossible for us to get.
But do they mine it locally, or when we say they've got them, or is it just because they've got different?
Their regulations, their environmental regulations are extremely strict. So the bottle caps, the information on the bottle, that it has to say, but based on some of the brands I saw, this is a detailing product. It's not made for consumption. But it's an obligated
sentence. So they're looking to sell to the States then?
They are really. Their cans, how the pressured cans, OEM aerosols. Needs to be, aerosols need to be very specific. It's not like we can just say, oh, we're going to use the European cans. No. They're first going to check the European cans, pressure, vaporizing, all the stuff inside of the fire, freezing.
Yeah.
And then when you get through the, excuse me.
That's a hell of a job, isn't it? The person who's in charge of finding out what the explosion temperature is of an aerosol. You have to sit there in the furnace with it and basically just report.
Yeah, we just went to the factory.
No.
Yeah, this one's not good. It's not good. I just lost my eyebrows. I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. It needs improvement.
Just a pictogram of an eyebrow missing. So are you staying in South Korea, or are you planning on trying to break North Korea yet?
No, we are staying in South Korea for now. Me and Kim are in negotiations of getting some detailing going on there.
Yeah.
But it's a very secluded country. I'd love to go there one day, but without a camera or anything media-like. Just my own eyes and experience, because...
And you might make it back. I mean, then we come back here and do one, a podcast for your 50th.
Yes. Yeah. Maybe after missing in action for 3 years, we get the return of Reggie from North Korea.
Suddenly the mole who's asking lots of weird questions about security arrangements.
Beard like this, hair behind the, No, Korea's one of the favorites. Favorite. Can't wait to go back. I think it's one of the most busy weeks I'm going to have.
Yeah.
Normally it's mainly training, and this time it's mainly promotion. So in every city I go, they have a famous YouTuber locally. We're going to shoot YouTube videos. They are going to do interviews. And there is one show from 6 to 10 p.m. at night, just going around the Labo and Maniac Line chemicals, playing around, like an experience.
Right.
This is a full packed schedule, because last time I was there, I said to the guys, okay, so what we're going to do Friday? Yeah, we're going to take a tour. No, we're not. We're going to train. Yeah, but we want to have a day off. No, you don't. I'm here right now. I'm not going to be here for maybe 6 months. So I don't want to have 500 phone calls about the information I forgot to tell you. So This time they screwed me over and made me like 15-hour days for 7 days.
So you're a hard taskmaster.
Yeah, but I like to do when I'm there. I mean, if we get a bonus, I went to the pyramids in Egypt because it was the last day.
That's quite a detour from Korea.
It is, but
That's a long bus ride.
I went everywhere. So I mean, I went to the tower in Shanghai, Cairo, and safari in
God, your
South
carbon
Africa.
footprint must be filthy.
Well, I am trying to reduce my carbon footprint by
How,
eating.
like going by donkey or something?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
You can get into North Korea that way, to be fair.
I think so too.
Yeah, it
I
softens the
think
line
it's
lines.
safer than a train.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, and a higher probability of return.
Well, speaking of returning, I'm going to take a little pausette now, and very shortly we will return and we'll be talking more to Reggie.
Awesome.
I hope you're enjoying the Pro Detailer Magazine podcast. I just want to take a minute to say a massive thank you. Thank you to all those who ordered the hand-wash-only hardback book. We have printed 3,000, expecting them to sell in dribs and drabs, but lo and behold, they're pretty much all sold out. So the good news is we're able to do a second print run, and that's going to be landing with us towards the end of October 2022. And so if you guys haven't got your copy yet, or would like to perhaps order some for gifts for other people at Christmas, dare I say it this early, then they will soon be available to pre-order at www.prodetailermagazine.com. Anyway, thanks again, and back to the podcast. And we're back. We are at the Automechanika show, as you know, and we have got the lovely Reggy Cox here.
Hi, guys.
And we are doing this really strange podcast in a massive hall in the middle of nowhere, and it's good fun. And we wanted to talk to Reggie next about the Netherlands. Obviously, you are Dutch.
Yes, I am.
Confirmed by the accent. And so we've just to briefly recap that you were in the army, in the Air Force, and you were polishing their matte blue buses and stuff back to gloss. Then you got into the trade kind of properly on this side. Tell us about your shop. When did you start your own shop?
Oh, there's a kicker right there. I never had an actual shop.
Oh,
My first actual entrance to the Chamber of Commerce is right before I entered Automechanika.
okay.
Before that, I was just the go-to guy, mouth to mouth, detailing cars. Just by, you need to go to that guy.
That's a cool name, mouth-to-mouth detailing.
Yeah, it's really, that's how it just went. I had a couple of customers that have a lot of money and they are envious to each other.
Yeah.
So the neighbor sees, oh, this Porsche looks pretty amazing. It looks more amazing than mine. Excuse me, neighbor, how did you get your Porsche to look so amazing? I went to the guy called Reggie.
Okay.
So that's why they sent me in, and that's how the ball started rolling.
That's very cool. And the noise has just disappeared. So
I think that's the dry ice.
It is the dry ice machine.
guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, and because they're also right next to the other presentation area, and every time somebody starts talking, they decide to fire the dry ice. Why do you put a noisy product next to a stage?
I don't know. I
That's
don't
why
even
everyone
know.
has to. It's like a silent disco
It's
on the
hilarious.
stage.
That was really something. I'm used to hearing myself speak, but not very close to my ears. So close. This was really, and everybody's looking at me, and it was like a silent disco.
This is what
But there's also the 3-second delay between the translator catching up with what's just been said. So half of the audience starts clapping at you, and then the other half, 2 minutes ago, oh yeah.
I removed my headset because the German I can understand German, speak German. The mouth of the German woman was stopped moving, and then my face was going like for 3 seconds after the English translation was finished. I said, this is not working. I'm looking like a clown right now. I'm removing the headset.
Yeah, they've literally got a little man in a recording booth. I've seen it in their little box, but it's a box within a box.
It's like the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, literally. He's a curious looking chap. So let's talk a bit more about your cars, because you've been detailing, seen on the socials, but while you were still on the socials, some of the cars you were doing and the prepping. And was that at your house? Where was that? It was a nice big unit.
Some of the cars I do with a friend of mine from the detail show. What I told you about. He has the most beautiful studio, so I do the very special projects there. Also because of the cameras, the doors, the locks, and everything. Then I have my brother-in-law that has the body shop.
Yeah.
And at that body shop, I also do a lot of work, but then I have to do the specific work waiting till the body shop closes, because it's dust nightmare.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And I like to go to places where it's very difficult. I like to go back to basic, take as less product and polish pads machines and try to do it with as less equipment as possible, trying to get into the minds of the guys that don't have the luxury like I have, selection of 12 or 13 machines, talking about a 3-inch, a 5-inch, and maybe a small rotary. And this is how I work. 90% of the time I leave the car on the floor, don't use the lift. So I'm on the ground, under the trims, under the side skirts, trying to get the car clean at places that normal detailers just use the luxury.
Yeah.
But most of them don't have the equipment and money in the beginning phase to get to these. So, and I still need to have support for them. And although I work for Automechanika, I buy the products at full price at the web shop.
Crikey.
I do this so I know how it feels when the money is leaving your wallet. And I do this so I can see the amount of product I'm using. So the other guys, the importers, when they do demos, they just put a pure bottle of Primus under the foam gun and just blast the car, and it looks amazing and it cleans and everything. But this is not an economical way to do it. And no detailer in the world is going to do it like this. So that's why I buy the products and try to find the most economical way to use them in the mind of a detailer that is just upcoming, just training, lack of, maybe the lack of confidence is mostly what they are hitting about. You know, I'm scared to do this, or I'm scared to use the rotary.
That's useful because I mean, you look, take Purifica, for example, fantastic products, acid shampoo, great for decontaminating coatings as they go. But yeah, for a 30-litre bucket, you have to use 400 mil, I think. And that's a lot. Yeah, you only use it as maintenance. So do you ever try and find more economical ways of using that, sort of knocking it down into a spray form so you can just do it as a pre-wash kind of?
There's no words that need to be added what you just said. That's exactly what I'm looking for. I'm trying, the foaming is fantastic, but it's very uneconomical. And especially when you're using an acid product or an alkaline product, if the dilution is too high, it's slowly moving back to neutral, losing its capabilities. You're still using a pretty expensive product. Yeah, you need a 1 to 3 dilution inside of the foam lens, considering the amount of water running through. So the end dilution is exponential. A pure solution under the foam gun outside of the end nozzle is 90% of the time 1 to 20. Yeah. This is pure. So when you dilute 1 to 1, the end dilution is going to be 140. To 160, 180, 180. And past 180, there's no use. So we move back to the atomizer, spray bottle. We do spot work. You know, behind the wheels, the most dirty area. Ceramics die there first. Yeah, it's a perfect solution to do a little bit stronger and then use the coverage of a foam lens with a dilution of 1 to 60. That's maybe 1 to 3, 1 to 4. So half a car becomes more economical. This way, every single time I do this, I also do the things that it's on the bottle that you say don't do it. So I pour it pure over glass. I do this on my own car, of course. Yep. But I try to find the things that the mind of the detailer is that if I start speaking, there's a very small movie playing in front of his head. And if I'm starting to use words as scratch-proof, self-cleaning,
they're misleading, aren't they?
They are very dangerous because I have had one customer.
Lifetime.
Oh, yeah. Lifetime warranty and lifetime coating. The guy says, so this is scratch-proof? Yeah. Okay. He goes to a car show. His friends are there.
You can get past that by giving a lifetime warranty and then after you're going and shooting him.
Yeah. It's funny. It's finished there.
Technically correct.
It's done. Done. You know, done. I have fulfilled my duty. You know, but people take these words literally. So the guy says it's scratch proof. He takes out his keys. He throws the keys over the hood. And you can imagine what happened. It went through the paint. We could see bare metal. Oof. So he phones up the manufacturer and says, hey, man, this is not scratch proof. I just threw my keys over the hood. And he says, yeah, but you can't throw your keys over the hood. Yeah, but you said it was scratch proof. Diamond tech, or what do we call it? Yeah.
This bomb shell is not bomb proof. I've just set off a bomb inside and I'm now dead.
Yeah, in a tree.
I didn't see my arm anyway.
This is how we. So I always go this way, finding economical solutions or trying to find the mistakes they make. So I make them myself deliberately. So if somebody says, I can tell you the craziest story so far, I'm not going to name the name. I'm not going to name the place. Guy calls me up, says, Reggie, I got a problem. I said, what's up?
And you go, hey, Bert, what's up?
He says, I was cleaning some chrome rims with Kronos. And then I stopped him. He said, you have to repeat that, what you said. Yep. And he said, I cleaned chrome rims with Kronos. Okay, so first, before I start going on it, I just walked inside of the shop, plucked the bottle, read the bottle, try to find the word wheels, chrome, anything. So I said to him, why did you use this for the wheels? And his argument, or his his assumption was that the word Chronos and chrome sounded alike. So it probably is for chrome wheels. He destroyed the chrome wheels.
I can imagine. I mean, that stuff is great on stainless steel. It's all carbonized from exhaust, but chrome-plated wheels.
Exactly.
Jeez.
From a poor manufacturer from a country to the left from the Netherlands, very far to the left.
Very far to the left.
Very far to the left.
Hang on, the left. Where are you?
From the Netherlands.
When you're
So
looking at the
west.
yeah, but from
going
what
west.
view are you viewing the Netherlands, like God or a cartographer, or are you sat in the Netherlands looking south?
No, I mean moving full to the west with an ocean in between and a country with.
Where the stupid not we can't call them that anymore.
Exactly.
Americans.
Yeah, that's the one.
That's fine. We're talking way too quickly for them to understand. It's absolutely fine if we just do this and then just look at us and then go, "Hey, yeah, go America!"
Yeah, exactly.
There we go, sorted. International crisis averted.
Exactly.
And one thing is whereabouts in the Netherlands? Because I think every time I think of the Netherlands, I immediately think of Amsterdam, obviously, and then I think no, there are places like Utrecht and stuff like that. Whereabouts are you?
I am in a very, very small village called Rekken. It's a stone throw from the German border. I mean, literally.
Have you tried throwing stones at the German border? Is that how you
No,
for 60 years.
I'm living there because I will be the first to know if the Germans invade again.
Huh?
And you say, oh yeah,
When? Sorry.
it has happened before.
Yeah, no,
they
but
did
when
it in 1940.
Yeah, well, so my best mate is Dutch, and he was explaining that they didn't believe the Germans would, so they were sort of sat around saying, "Yeah, no, we're absolutely safe," and then they ended up sort of within about 3 or 4 days being completely invaded. And they
I think it was hours.
Hours. That was
I think it took about 3 hours for the Germans to get from my city to Amsterdam.
Yeah, and they phoned and they said, "Oh, the Germans are coming." The Germans are coming. No, they're not. No, you're just kidding.
No, it's Hans again. Hans is playing with us again. You know?
What's that? That's a Panzerschreck.
I think it's the Swiss that keep on accidentally invading Liechtenstein.
Yeah.
They do night operations. They accidentally go over the border, and someone like, "Oh God, better phone the Liechtensteins."
Let's start paying tax. Oh no, hang on.
What? What's the plural for Liechtensteinians?
Liechtensteins.
I think if you
How'd
blink,
you get those out?
if you drive through Liechtenstein and you blink, you don't even know you went through.
Yeah,
You just say Switzerland, Austria. Oh,
I stopped
It's
for
amazing
fags.
the amount of companies that are based there.
Well, I stopped for fags by mistake in Liechtenstein once and was amazed how cheap they were, and then stopped again in France, and yeah, it was disappointing. So yeah, that's when you know you're there, because things suddenly get very cheap and then it all disappears. Yeah. Okay. So we have, and I don't know, have you listened to our podcast before? Probably not.
yes, I did.
You did?
Yes.
Awesome.
You're talking about the 10 quick fire
The
shoot,
quick fire questions.
headshot questions.
Yeah, we don't headshot that much anymore. We got in trouble for doing that. So what I'm doing currently is just hunting through my
It's
notes.
not as if we've done like 30 episodes of this. Right?
Well, I don't want to get them wrong. And as soon as I pick my phone up, of course, I've got 6 missed calls. But anyway, okay, here we're going to go. What is your current car?
Audi A8 1995.
Now, I know we said quickfire, but let's have a discussion about this, because I own 2 of these D2 Audis as well, so we can talk about is what engine is yours? Shut up.
Sorry.
I'm gonna whisper this, but it's the 2.8 V6.
Oh, geez. And hang on, if it's that age, it's not even the 30 valve, is it?
No,
Oh, that's 175 horsepower.
174.
174, and it's all aluminium, so they say it's really light, but it's not. It's still 1,700 kilos.
4-trans Z transmission.
So front-wheel drive.
No, quattro.
It is a quattro.
It's still quattro.
Oh, well, that's a good way of using that 174 horsepower then, just powering those prop shafts.
It's not. I had to choose between the 2.8 and the 4.2, but it's the daily driver.
No, hang on. So no, in Europe, you got a 2.5 TDI. You got a 3.3 TDI V8 turbo, which was a really interesting engine and the precursor to the V8s you can get currently, the diesel V8s. You could get the 3.7, and I've got one of those. You get 3.7 front-wheel drive and quattro. You can get the 4.2, and they all went through different sort of phases, because when they went to 5-valve, they all got more power and stuff like that. So I've got the 4.2 in the S8, which is the 40 valve tuned to 360 brake, or no, 360 PS, 355
PS, yeah,
brake.
PS.
And they are awesome cars. There is something about them, even the slow ones. I drove a 2.8 for a long time. Even the slow ones, there's something regal about how they just cruise around the place. You're running 16-inch rims, I'm guessing?
No, 20.
20?
I took the 2001 S8.
Yeah.
No, it's not right. The 8-spoke. S8
Yep,
wheels.
That's what I run on mine. Yeah, we call them final edition wheels over here, but they're RS look. They're kind of like the Avis. You know, they're actually forged
They are extremely expensive right now. I have the hubcaps with the Audi rings in them. If you take them bare and they're in a poor state, they cost 700 euros in the Netherlands. And they're in a poor state without the wheels. The tires. It's just bare. Screwed up aluminum.
Well, the center caps, those plastic center cap bits from Audi Classic, they're something like 90 quid each now.
Yeah. I'm very, very, very. I like these wheels very much.
And they're supposed to be diamond cut. A lot of them have been refurbed and then they're just sprayed over, but they're from factory. They should be diamond cut faces.
True.
Okay. Well, before we bore people, I know we actually have a lot of D2 fans listening, so it's fine because of our 7 listeners, 6 of them. Yeah.
The full D2 club is listening.
No, I shit you not.
Waving little flags.
We have a D2 club in the UK and we go on rallies and events and lots of Germans come over from the German D2 club and then we all go over to Germany and tour around Germany like we're on a rally sort of thing.
In that case, I'm going to extend my thank you for the D2 community in the UK because of you guys, I got the left back trim cap that was unfindable in the mainland of Europe, but it was foundable in abundance in the UK.
Well, we have an Englishman from the D2 club who has now moved and now is living and is married into literally married into the D2 club and lives in Germany now and is now distributing stuff from Audi Classic in German.
Sounds my new best friend.
Yeah. No, I can hook you up. And also, of course, we've got the D2 doctor in the UK, who's the best D2 mechanic in the world. So that's very cool. Anyway, let's move on. Dream car. What is your dream car?
Audi RS2.
Fascinating with the
Nogaro Blue. The original Nogaro Blue. So not the knockoff from 2001, the real one, 1994. Recaro seats, light blue Alcantara, black leather.
With the Porsche brakes, 993 Porsche brakes and wheels, and the wing mirrors.
Yeah, the French, the manifold from Bosch, the Porsche intake, the brakes, the wheels, the exhaust, the mirrors.
I think they all have mirrors, to be fair.
No. This had Porsche 99. Was it 968 or 993 mirrors?
That's a good question. I cannot honestly
or 928 from the V8. I'm not sure. 100%. But Nogaro, they did the D2 in Nogaro. There aren't many of them, but they did that. And there's a chappie who's in the club who had a D2 and a D3 and a D4, all in Nog. It's brilliant. But
quick fire.
Quick fire. Sadly, the D4 ended up on its roof after overtaking a tractor. Anyway, okay, so your dream car RS2, totally respect that. I mean, it's only 315 brake, but they're mental. And that's a 5-cylinder as well, isn't it? So that's hardcore. First car that you ever detailed, so not like washing something as a kid, but as in kind of got your little cotton buds out and started fiddling.
You mean a true detail?
Yeah.
A Honda CRX 1988.
Oh, I love the CRX. I nearly bought a CRX Costa del Sol. It's just a Del Sol. It's not Costa del Sol with a roof that goes down like that. And
this was the first one with the straight back end.
Yep.
The 136 horsepower DOHC.
Double overhead camshaft.
Exactly.
Oh.
I had the car for more than 2 years. Mm-hmm. My mother was the one driving it. I cannot drive it, but as a driver's license. Every single week, that was detailed front to back. Car didn't drive for a week. I detailed the car anyway.
Brilliant.
Until the day I got my driver's license, 3 months, car was finished. No more engine, no more brakes, no more tires. I completely destroyed the car. Really did. Less than 3 months.
It's hard to destroy a Honda as well if it's stock.
Exactly, but it's the most fastest car in the world because every day it becomes faster.
Because it rusts away.
Exactly.
It lightens itself.
Yes, it will disappear in time.
I can't take the piss out of that because the Scoops do the same. Although our D2s, being aluminium, don't. Apart from the subframes and all the bolts.
Subframe is
messy. So, next question. This is deeply personal, so don't take it the wrong way. But how many buckets do you use?
Yeah, how many buckets?
Yeah, when you're getting down and dirty with a motor car.
You want an honest answer?
Yeah, I do.
1.
Ooh, brilliant. Well, this is much better than somebody saying 3. I use 1 for wash, 1 for rinse, 1 for whiz. How do you use your 1 bucket? And don't say just put it on your head and pretend you're...
Is it full of ice and beer?
No. You could see it that in that case it's going to be 2 buckets, but an actual wash bucket I only use 1.
Do you have many wash mitts or microfibers?
I have too much mitts. If I disclose the amount, it will start to become creepy.
They're going to call you a mitt man.
Yeah, maybe so. Yeah,
one up from
there he is, the guy from the mitts.
So I'm guessing you have that bucket. I imagine your bucket's quite big.
It's a big bucket.
It's a big bucket. And I'm guessing you basically use a mitt for just when normal people would dip and wash and go between the buckets, you just have 1 mitt for, say, half a panel. No?
No, I have more mitts.
Tell us how you do it.
Quick fire, here we go. Don't shoot me.
No, for please. Something like this, it's important. This is serious shit.
There is this Chanel one. Basically, there's
Chanel, like Chanel number 5.
It's like the
Chanel.
you know the finger
Noodles.
ones.
Yeah, noodles.
Chanel, yeah.
Yeah, I love it. I love a noodle.
This is one mainly for the bottom part, and I'm going D2 bottom part. So there's the
It's
side
huge.
skirt going
Yep.
inside. That's the one.
Yeah.
Then we have a extreme. I'm not going to mention the brand, but it's a very, very soft microfiber. It's high quality. It's
Why
you
can't
can
you
you can't
mention
get
the
it.
brand?
It's deep black, so it matches the L041 black color of the Audi.
I've got my ebony black is the same as me.
This is
SA.
this mid alone. Yeah, there we go. There comes the creepy shit.
Yeah.
Because then when you put on this mid and you caress the car,
Mm-hmm.
even if you don't put any shampoo, it's gliding.
Yeah.
You cannot feel any friction whatsoever. Then we have one for the windows. One
Are you
for
actually
inside of
touching the
doors.
car, or are you just sort of stoned off
In
your
my
face
head,
and you can't feel it?
my voice was going
He
down.
just got a full body Chanel suit.
I'm
Just
already-
rubs himself over it.
I'm already halfway into foreplay with the car.
Yeah.
I mean,
You get in a Chanel suit and you just get your mate to drive it over the top of
it's,
you.
it's like full Chanel suit.
Have you got SE suspension or sports suspension? Because that make the difference between life and death if you're being driven over.
No,
SE.
highest.
SE, yeah, same. Okay, well, we had a brief and somewhat dirty insight into your washing procedure, which I very much appreciated. Another personal question. Rotary or DA?
Rotary, all the way since 1998.
Because you're old school.
No, because I'm 40 years old. I can feel 20 years of detailing inside of my body. There's a reverse tennis arm on the inside here.
Okay.
This is never going to go away again. This is going to be for life. They tried everything. This is not repairable.
For the sake of the camera, he's touching his arm.
Yeah, I'm on the inside of my elbow. This is what they call reverse tennis arm.
Yep. Oh, reverse tennis elbow.
Reversed. Oh, tennis elbow. That's
Yeah,
it.
Isn't one tennis and one golf?
I think it's my long period of being single and detailing is that this inside has been destroyed.
But that's a very big bicep at the same time. So, at least
Thanks so much.
pros and cons.
But I need it because I wield the machine with one hand.
Yeah.
So-
and the polisher.
The polisher as well.
Yeah.
And I use two hands. I use everything to make my body less.
Vibratory.
Yes.
Yeah.
We
So
all know the hands from
that-
the Rupus
Yeah, that's
since night.
Yeah, no, I think that is a really interesting point. The reason, because a lot of people say I use Rotary because there's this kind of stigma around DA that it's for beginners. Now, I've spent a lot of time with Kelly Harris, and he's like, oh, he's perfectly happy using the DA, and he thinks it's a great way of doing things. So when we ask him, he says DA, and it's like, but hang on, you're old school, surely you use Rotary. But no, this is the point. You're using Rotary not just because of the sake of it, because of willy waving, but because generally the vibrations have caused damage, and you want to be able to use your arms in 5 years' time.
Yeah, we're not focusing on doing a 100% pure, super tight finish rotary. You know,
Can you say toit again?
Toit.
Toy's like a toy gun.
It's bloody amazing, mate.
Oh, touche.
Why is it an Australian accent?
From East London. Okay, so we got Mr. Rotary. So another deeply personal question: coating or wax? We're talking on cars here.
Always is going to be lifetime. It's going to be wax.
Another one. We
I'm
didn't
sorry.
expect.
I'm sorry. I cannot go. The organic substance, the warmth, the gloss. I don't give a shit about the duration and everything. I will do it every week if necessary to get that. That's for the wax. The whole procedure. It's like yoga.
Yeah.
At
Yes,
the end of the wax
therapeutic.
procedure, you feel like a new man.
Okay. Now, Labo Cosmetica don't do a paste wax, do
No.
they? So you can actually say what your favourite wax is without being in breach of anything.
I used to have a favorite wax.
Yeah,
I
but
used to.
Why? Did you have a disagreement with it? Did you fall out? Did it break?
No, they changed it.
I can always see your heart crushing thinking back on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was pretty. You know, in the beginning of the wax, the wax was very old, but the procedure, and after they started to make it more synthetic, that's when the love started to deteriorate. We added some
Come on,
polymers.
tell us what this wax is. This is not
No,
a state secret.
I can't. I don't wanna disclose this.
Okay, well, tell us what country it's made in.
United States.
Okay.
So we're down to 70.
Yeah, I'm about to say we don't.
Yeah, I can also.
Chemical guys.
It is.
Is it bus
Oh,
or
shit.
wax?
Which one?
There is. No, I'm not gonna tell.
Well, no, you already done the brand. You're already going to prison. You're being sued. Tell
It's
us.
Triple X.
Triple X. Interesting.
Cheap, easy.
I used to like butter wax.
That's how I like my
The
women.
CG stuff.
But
That
it's,
was
it was one of the first paste waxes with a real one.
Cool. So, well, we've got over that. Can you? We don't have crying on the podcast. It's not allowed.
Okay, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
sort it out.
Imagine.
Okay, a very irrelevant question. Ferrari or Porsche?
Porsche.
Interesting. A very important question. Life and death. Subaru or Mitsubishi?
Subaru.
Good man.
Always.
Good man.
Yes.
See, I knew I liked him for a reason. Flex or Rupes?
I'm going to go for a Flex for the Deutsche Gründlichkeit, and I'm going for the
Were you being
Rupes.
rude?
Bless you.
No, it's it's what we in the Netherlands we say that German engineers do a very thorough job at everything they do, and in German they call it Gründlichkeit. It means thoroughness.
Yeah.
So when we say German thoroughness, or then we're talking about Deutsche Gründlichkeit.
Yeah.
That is what Flex is. I know the guy from Flex, the engineer, never hold a polishing machine in his hand. You can feel it when you hold. You hold it. You do the way the wheel spins, the trigger.
It's not ergonomic. Yeah.
No. And then the Rupes is like a silk suit. It feels, it touches. It's only 500
It's
watts.
like caressing the body of a beautiful woman. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but it vibrates quite a lot though.
It does. And the noise is, of course, also. I don't like the Flex has a short oscillation.
Yeah.
And I like the longer oscillation from the Rupes. So in general, I will say Rupes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, they're Italian, and that fits in with the whole.
Yeah, just to go inside of the line of Labo and everything. But remember,
Well, Labo and Rupes really need to start working together. I talked to Marco, and he said he was game for it, and I talked to him with Rupes, and it was all tricky. But never mind. So we've covered that one. Now, final question, and I don't know where you're going to go with this. You've given us some really interesting answers already, but this is one that I think you might answer differently from everybody. You have, picture the scene. You're on your own on a Sunday, not because you're alone, just because everybody else is, buggered off. Maybe there's a party you weren't invited to, and it's you and your motor car. It's you and your D2. Do you A, go for a drive? Do you hit those hills and mountains that Holland is so famous for? Or do you get down and dirty, get your many noodle mitts out and start rubbing her under quarters?
in the second one first, and then after the second one, I go to the first one and take the drive.
We've heard this before. It's a yes or it's a one or the other, not a both.
Then it's going to be the drive.
It's the drive.
I'm sorry.
There we go. No, don't apologise.
Detailing podcast, yet to find anybody who wants to detail.
Yeah, everybody has said they want to drive the car, not detail the car, which is good because we've got a very firm rule. We only have interesting people, and I think there are lots of people who actually would say, "No, I don't want to drive the car. I just want to clean it again because it hasn't been driven since."
No, the reason I wanted to clean it first, sorry for interrupting, but is because the drive after the detail.
So you show it off.
If you are a customer, if you are a detailer, that first drive right after the detail, the whole car changes. It's like the bearings are not hearable anymore. It's like the CW, the coefficient values are going up.
Yeah.
It's like mileage is going down. It's like feeling more horsepower. The whole car, even my car, 1995, I washed it, I cleaned it, I got in the car, and I went here. The first drive in a detailed car is something psychologically most beautiful things I've ever experienced in my life, except for making
it's the rumbling when you haven't put the wheel nuts back on properly.
Also that.
Yeah.
Also that. My technical difficulties.
Well, I had a drive 2 weeks ago. A drive shaft fell off my little Audi A2, you know, the little aluminium ugly one, and yeah, that just fell off, and the car just stopped working. Yeah, that wasn't so fun. Cool. Well, Reggie, it has been an absolute pleasure talking to you.
That's a dream come true, man. Podcast, two awesome guys.
Yeah,
Nice.
it was very easy for us to make your dream come true. You need to be more aspirational, target for higher things, you know, because just talking to two grumpy old hairy men on a recorder, it's not, you know, you can do better, man. But anyway, it is a huge thank you and a regretful bye-bye to you. But until next time.
Thanks so much. Honor was tremendous.
And it's goodbye from me.
And goodbye from me.
And goodbye from me.